Broadcasting live from the Business RadioX studios in Atlanta, Georgia, it's time for Atlanta Business Radio, spotlighting the city's best businesses and the people who lead them.
Lee Cantor here, another episode of Atlanta Business Radio, and this is going to be a fun one. I got with me today the president of OnPay, Mr. Mark McKee. Welcome, sir.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Well, before we get too far into things, Mark, tell us a little bit about OnPay. How are you serving folks?
Sure. OnPay is a cloud-based payroll software company. We're based right here in Atlanta. We also offer a full HR platform as well as employee benefits. And really, payroll for us is full function, full service. We handle all the filings, all the payments. We do everything for you. And we follow a SaaS business model. So for us, that means that everything's unlimited and on a monthly basis. We make it really easy and simple to use.
Now, what's the sweet spot of the companies you serve? I know there's a lot of competition in that space. So where do you fit in?
We serve small and medium businesses in all 50 states across all industries. And really, one of our main differentiators is that we are a software company, but founded by a payroll person. Our founder and CEO, Jesse Burgess, actually worked for his grandfather's payroll company here just north of the city up in Suwanee. His grandfather's a great guy and has a very traditional business model. And so back when in 2008, 2009, economy wasn't great and not a great time to be selling things door to door. John, who is Jesse's grandfather, had Jesse go sell payroll services door to door. And so Jesse got this great 2-year almost work study and talking to small business owners about what they wanted in payroll and HR. And so he began developing kind of internal to that company, what at the time was called Online Payroll, later shortened to OnPay. And that software was separated out in about 2015 into a separate company that's OnPay. And so we're now a software company, and the rest is history.
Now, regarding the businesses that you serve, did it start out as kind of mom and pop, or did you focus on certain industries, or was it kind of industry agnostic?
It's always been industry agnostic. Yeah, it definitely started off with kind of serving mom and pops, and we still have a lot of great companies who have 2, 3, 4 employees, all the way up to our largest customer runs about 600 employees on a weekly payroll. So really, we can service a broad range of companies, but mostly, just like small business is the backbone of American economy, we service probably on average about around a 12-person company, and so really, it's a nice sweet spot for us right there. But again, we have clients kind of up and down the range.
Now, when you're serving that kind of size company, they're kind of vulnerable, and especially in times like this, how has your company kind of dealt with this crisis that we're having in terms of a lot of your customers, I would imagine, are pretty freaked out, and how does kind of a vendor like yours kind of elevate to a trusted partner and let them know that you're there for them during this tough time?
Sure, absolutely. I think right now in particular, it's, we're working to be informative. I think we've always taken an approach of we want to help businesses bring their payroll and HR into the cloud and do it in a slick, easy to use way. I think most of our customers, you're hitting on it, come from a very traditional payroll company. We can save them time and money, but they're really doing it themselves in a lot of cases. And payroll is complicated. It's always struck me as something that affects every employer, every employee, but no one's really trained to do payroll. It's kind of a weird thing. So you have a lot of people who don't want to think about it. We always say it's like a transmission in a car. It's not something you want to think about until there's a problem with it, and then you have to deal with it. So I think that's when people come to us and they're looking for a simple solution. Nobody wants that letter from the IRS, the nasty gram from the IRS to deal with. I think in this particular, with everything that's going on with COVID-19, there's lots of ever-changing information. There's a lot of concern and worry. I would recommend everybody go to onpay.com/COVID-19 and check out our resource center. But the things that we're doing to help are being flexible with our clients and really just giving them the information they need so they can make decisions. There's a lot of new laws out around COVID-19. The CARES Act in particular allows for the Paycheck Protection Program. That's flowing through lenders and banks, but is based on payroll data. The amount a company can borrow is based on their payroll data primarily. So we've been working to get that information out to them quickly so they can turn and get that to their lenders. There's also a variety of payroll tax credits that are available right now through the various pieces of legislation. The employer portion of Social Security can be deferred for at least a year or two in some cases. And if your business is shut down due to COVID-19 or you've had a more than 50% loss in revenue, there's some tax credits for you to take advantage of, as well as paid sick leave. paid sick leave, and also the expansion of FMLA, Family Medical Leave Act, is allowing for some other tax credits right now. So again, check out the resource center at onpay.com. But a lot of things are changing quickly, for sure.
And I think this is one of those kind of good examples in a crisis where a company like yours really, it becomes obvious how valuable you become to the company, because the individual entrepreneur that's running the company can't possibly stay as current and up to date with all of this going on, as well as running their business. But this is all you guys think about. And so you can really be helpful and give them the information they need at the time they need it, rather than having the entrepreneur all of a sudden become an expert in all these new government regulations.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And payroll's something we fully acknowledge is not fun to think about, and it's kind of on the back burner until it's not. So we're excited for the opportunity to help and be helpful to small businesses.
Now, did you say that the company was founded here in Atlanta?
It was. It was founded. The legacy company is called Payroll Center. It's up in Swanee, and now we're based in Midtown Atlanta. That's right.
Now, what has been the advantage, you think, of being kind of based here in the Metro Atlanta area?
Atlanta is great for so many reasons. It's been good to us for so many reasons, OnPay. But as you know, the technology community here is great, particularly fintech and specifically payments. Around Atlanta, there's so much payment knowledge and so many resources for entrepreneurs. I think it's allowed us to really hire a lot of great people. And I think that's allowed us to expand quicker than maybe if we were in a different place, because there's so much access to people who already have payment knowledge or have been somewhat around payroll. A lot of the big payroll companies have offices here. And so there's a good payroll community. There's a good payments community. And so it's allowing us to get people quickly and easily who can add value almost immediately.
And you find that from a talent standpoint, there's a lot of resources from that side, I would imagine, from software development?
That's right. I mean, the Tech Village, ATDC, the universities, it has been great to be able to hire product development, and also just the client-facing folks as well who have payroll and payments knowledge to begin with. So we train them up on OnPay, obviously, but they've already had a pretty good knowledge set and a lot of years of experience in our industry. It's been super helpful.
Now, is your typical customer someone who is going from not having kind of a payroll partner to OnPay, or are they changing from one of the existing payroll companies to OnPay?
It's a mix. We have companies that come from a very traditional payroll company and they're looking to do something more cloud-based. They want to be able to do it on their iPad in the evenings on their couch. We have people who are coming to us that have been doing payroll themselves. And we have a lot of new businesses who come to us and say that we're starting up, we're going to need a payroll solution. To us, the kind of products around payroll are secondary. So a 401k, benefits, offer letters, those types of things tend to happen later in a small business owner's journey. Payroll is really the first thing a person needs when they hire their first employee. So going from 1 to 2 people in a company, you need payroll. It's kind of at the start. And so that's where a lot of people come to us at that early in the journey, or they've been doing it with another company and they want to move to OnPay.
Now, what about if an organization has a lot of kind of 1099 employees? Can you help them in that area as well?
We can do that. Yeah, for sure. We can handle W-2 employees. We can also handle 1099 employees. And usually it's a mix of both, where they have some employees and they're using contractors to do some projects or help the business in some way.
Now, what is the onboarding? Like, say you're talking to a firm that hasn't had a payroll company before and they were just doing it themselves. Is the onboarding a difficult process, or do you have that pretty much down now that you can transition someone pretty quickly?
We can do it pretty quickly. I think we can do it in a very traditional way if they want to send us. So if it's the end of March right now, so they would have 3 months of payroll data for their employees. We would take that data, we enter all the data for them, and they're getting up and running in 2 to 3 business days. And we love to do it that way, and that's provided by OnPay. You can also do it yourself and go online. A lot of our clients who have 2 or 3 employees, they just go on, enter the data themselves, and they're off and running within a matter of just a couple of days to get the direct deposit functionality working. And then also we have a mobile piece of the employee experience. And so if you were to email your employee, that person could then fill out their own information for you and onboard themselves, essentially with things like date of birth, social security number, address. And it's this way to keep an evergreen record with your employees, and they just constantly update it themselves. So there's a variety of ways that you can onboard into OnPay.
Now, as part of the HR functions, do you help them kind of develop maybe policies and procedures and handbooks and things like that?
We do. We have, you can go into onpay.com, and our users can then download a template for things like employee handbooks. You hit on that. Also, automated offer letters. They can track PTO. If they use us for employee benefits, we can pull a census for them for health, dental, vision, short and long-term disability, life insurance, those types of things. And that's all automated for the user.
And you help them kind of source the appropriate benefit provider, or you have like kind of partners that you work with?
We do. For benefits, we do that all in-house. We manage that whole process for them. So just like a traditional broker would go out to the carriers, we do that same thing. We are part of an ecosystem, as we call it. So time and attendance, we're fully integrated with a lot of tools for accounting they would use, like a QuickBooks or Xero. And so 401k, time and attendance, accounting softwares we partner with and are fully integrated into OnPay.
Now, what is the kind of level of appreciation when a company switches from doing it themselves to working with you? What's the thing they say, wow, this really helped me in this area, or this was a benefit I didn't see coming? Are there anything that you hear from your customers that they most appreciate?
Yeah, I think number one is saves time. I think everybody would love to have more time back in their day, and I think that's something that OnPay does for folks. Just make it easy. It's all streamlined, whether it's getting set up or it's your 100th pay run with us. It's easy, and I think people enjoy that. It's so simple to use, and it really puts a lot of time back in their day. And we help them when they have an issue, they can call in and get support. So we have award-winning client service, and people like to be able to call and talk to somebody and say, what is this? Tell me why this is happening, and talk through things that are a little bit tricky to understand.
And where do you see OnPay going? Like, what's the future hold for you guys?
Well, we're excited. We've got some new features and functionality coming out later this year we're really excited about, but we've been really fortunate and are proud of our growth. We're over 10,000 customers now, and we're just going to keep doing the things that got us here while continuing to evolve the product and the company and move forward.
And then what's the most rewarding part of your job for you?
I think one, all the folks at OnPay are great. I really am proud of everyone who's part of the OnPay team. I think it's been great to see it grow. And we've added substantial headcount over the last few years and really move forward with the product, things that are happening. But to see somebody that on our client base, when they call in and say, thanks for handling this for me, or they had something they didn't understand, and making it a little bit easier and saving them time and money, that's been really rewarding.
Now, does OnPay do anything to create kind of a community of entrepreneurs amongst your client base?
We do, particularly with accountants. We have a partner program. We have a lot of information on our website, and we do have a lot of people call in, and it's been fun to watch as people call in and they'll ask for somebody on our team. And so it is very much a community feel and how we're helping and providing, but particularly accountants who will move a lot of their clients onto our system to use. We've got a great community of accountants, and we're really proud of that.
Good stuff. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story today, Mark. If somebody wants to learn more, what is the coordinates?
OnPay.com. Go in there, and we give everyone a first month free to try it out and see if they like it. We'd love to have them as clients, and happy to give them more information.
And then if they wanted more information about the COVID-19 stuff, it's within the website, right?
That's right. OnPay.com/COVID-19.
All right. That was Mark McKee with OnPay. Thank you so much again for sharing your story.
Thank you.
All right. This is Lee Cantor. We will see you all next time on Atlanta Business Radio.